Good afternoon, everyone. Just before the open on Wednesday, the 14th of July, and the situation on VectorVest UK looking pretty good. However, I have to warn everyone that VectorVest USA gave a confirmed down signal yesterday, which is the longest term measure of the trend on VectorVest. And that function of exceptionally low market breadth in the US. But in the UK we have an up situation. We've got a green light here, and the situation looking much better than in the US. But we have trouble, and there's always one, Sylvania Platinum, and clearly, I think, affected by problems in South Africa. I'm sure you've heard about them in the TV and the newspapers. My son, who's based these days in Johannesburg, in the north of Johannesburg, tells me that the local mall was raided the other day. Sylvania Platinum, I suppose, is about an hour's drive from that, right out in the countryside. So the fundamentals on VectorVest could not be better. Nevertheless, it dropped through its stop loss, and I had no choice but to get rid of it this morning. I think that I'll be buying into it relatively soon again. My entry point is from down here, so it's not the end of the world, but as you can see, an awful lot of lows here. So I got rid of it this morning as it went down below that low, and it hasn't moved much further. I've absolutely no doubt that I'll be buying into it again in a few weeks' time, few weeks' time. It looks to me as if it'll hunt liquidity down around these lows. Nevertheless, with the situation in South Africa, I couldn't take any risks. So I've banked a profit there. I banked a very good profit on this one. Very good profit on where I added here, and a little bit of a loss where I added just in here. Okay, so not the end of the world, and we'll live to fight another day. Now, if we have a look at the other shares that I've got, there's another one on death watch as well, and that's ATYM Mining. And ATYM Mining, where are we? Here we are. Again, the fundamentals really good, and it in fact was up a little bit yesterday and seems to have come off these obvious lows. So this is a copper play. I note that the price of Blackrock World Minerals has ticked up a little bit today. It's on a sell recommendation that just moved into a hold. If we have a look, yesterday, quite an up day. It's pulled back a little bit today, but hasn't gone down below those lows. And if I look for some volume, we can see that that up day occurred on reasonable volume. So I think that there's a really good chance that we've actually got a bottom here. I spoke about the American CPI number yesterday, which was through the roof. However, markets and economists around the world and incredibly influential people still sticking to the narrative that this is all transitory. In other words, caused by supply blocks from the COVID problems. So this I think is quite good, and MACD starting to curl up here. So I'm holding on to that position for now. If it should break down below this low of 280, folks, or certainly close down there, then that one will go as well. So capital preservation is everything. Reasonably happy with the rest, and still happy with the gold stocks. Now, gold has in fact ticked up. Oh, before we leave it, Knos again, a very good day yesterday, folks, and Games Workshop an exceptionally good day as well. So reasonably happy with the rest. So if we have a look at the gold market, there we are. That's the gold market, 1826, a very good day today. It's broken above those tails of those candles that occurred last week. That's really good. So there'll be noise in gold stocks, but nevertheless the gold market moving in the right direction. Is this the one that's going to break out? I think it's far, far too soon. Aggressive traders can certainly have a go down here. Those people that can manage risk and manage risk strongly. Those of you that are not in that particular camp and take life easy, I think you want to see the gold market getting above 1950 of that order to confirm that this sell-off that we've had since last August is well out of the way. I think if we can clear these highs up here, then the road is relatively sure to about 2,300, and that's going to cause gold stocks to go through the roof. Gold stocks, as I've said 1,000 times, but nobody listens to me, are not for everybody, folks. So if you don't want the angst of all of this, then just leave them well alone and stick to shares that are undervalued, shares that are growing earnings strongly and safely, that are rising in price, and you'll do just well. You'll do just fine. So I tend to be addicted to these darn things because every now and then they make life-changing moves, like 10x type moves in a couple of months, some things like this. If we have a look finally at the American stock market, it's 7 minutes to open, and it's in fact forecast to open well up on last night's close. That was a little bit, I took a few points in that one, and then it fell. I didn't trade. There was a really good short signal, but I didn't trade it, and I'll see what happens this afternoon. But it looks to me as if it wants to break much higher, and everybody's quite happy to believe the Fed's narrative that not much is going to happen to policy. I will try and keep these videos shorter. I think I rattle on far too long. So just remember, folks, capital preservation is absolutely everything. And if you're feeling uneasy in any of those commodity stocks, then simply get out. We can always get back in again. As I've just said, I've got out of Sylvania Platinum, and if you're still holding it, well, I think personally I'll be buying into it again in a few weeks' time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.